Glorify the King. That's right. I'll tell you why they put the ads in the papers for these people to have all these different languages. And then they would need you to teach them. Because they're saying once you teach them everything about you, they don't need you no more. Because they already speak 5 languages, plus they know what you have taught them. So we must stop teaching them and reject them. First, we must reject our problem. Our leader who runs our country, sitting and former prime ministers, in most cases, have allowed it to happen. And this is what I speak in reference to, in regards to my sovereign, individual, sacred right. This is the account I want the people to support, and then they'll see. This is the Bank of the Bahamas, okay? Can't see too clear, so I'm taking a picture of a picture, but I'll get the information. I'll get the information out there. The Bank of the Bahamas. Support. Account. It's the Bank of the Bahamas International. Support account number 551-0048-927. As I have supported you. And we are turning a bad situation around. It's absolute nonsense. Right, if they're serious. I still have to always go back to this thing now. You have qualified individuals here that are able to make contributions, take ownership of our economy and of our country. We've invested in ourselves. That's right. Many of us didn't ask the government for anything. As a matter of fact, Uncle Sam paid for mine. I'll be honest with you. He did. I'm back here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. It's a shame. Your Bahamians that are here, I'm not just talking about people with degrees. People with experience, they don't have to have paperwork. It's not rocket science. Because if you're bringing these people in without the knowledge in the first instance and without the Bahamians got to train them. This is what it is. That's because they want to erase you, sir. Yeah, you see?
And he's absolutely right. And see, that's the whole thing. But I want to encourage you to adopt a new positive mental attitude and to stoke them. You know that we have that term that we say in the Bahamas that we gonna stoke you. You know what I mean? We gonna shame you.
See, to stoke them and to put them to shame, and okay, the traitors, the withholders of the people's property.
What I'm saying that if that's what they say, let's go and do what they tell us to do on those issues so that they don't have the excuse of saying.
Remove the men responsible for allowing the contravening of our constitutional and sovereign right. Remove them. Any man or woman. Don't worry about certain issues as relates to Aaron Green and same-sex marriage. That'll never happen.
I can't speak for the entire government. I'm going to tell you I talked to. I know that Agas of myself is serious about this. I know that they're working very hard to make this thing happen. And I know that a lot of work has gone into it. And I gave them credit as, and you know, I could be...
I don't care what they want to do. If they don't want to talk to a man like Amos, they ain't not serious.
To get it done. No, it's slow.
Culture.
It's slow.
There's a lot of Bahamians with talent. That's all I'm saying. Don't forget that. I wish to speak with the Minister of Culture.
Let me tell you how we spotted them. They made this move now. This is the year 2013.
Minister of Culture, I'd like to speak with you. Show you some culture. Show you my vision. In respect to your government being self-disciplined, in respect to what the Bahamian people have entrusted to them, in respect to your government.
Remember there was a song saying,
reaffirming their commitment in respect to Bahamian-owned industry, in respect to Bahamian direct investments. Your government recommitting their government, your government, to unity, to unifying the Bahamian people instead of dividing us with this government, FNM and PLP and DNA, while the people, while the red herring is going on, the government is pussyfooting around with the people natural resources. This is an absolute truth.
We can show you how you believe in behaviors if you don't get this right. Now, I believe the government is on the right path. I'm going to give it to them.
You can see, Steve, it's easy for you to say that because maybe you have food on your table when you leave your show, bro. Maybe you could afford to pay your light bill at home and for your corporation. Others can't. It's a serious thing. Why we understand, and I understand you. That's what we need. Ownership and empowerment. That's now you talking business here. That's right. That's what you were saying earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, empowerment.
Like the caller who called just now, very, very brilliant very true what he's saying. We can't deny what he's saying. The government has to hear.
And I reaffirm my point and recommit my point. The Bahamian people did not vote for these men and women to govern our country to ruin us financially, while they laugh at us and go all the way to the bank with millions in their bank accounts. We own it already. All we need to do now is remove those who have been keeping us back from obtaining that which is hereditarily and rightfully ours. Now, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Anyone move on anything I own, like my constitutional rights so far has been crushed and destroyed. Every protection in respect to the Constitution, Chapter 3 of our Constitution, in respect to my personal, individual, sovereign, democratic right, has been contravened beyond discrimination. It has been absolutely contravened by both government, the FNM and the PLP, in the last 7 years. And it is being contravened at this moment. They're trying to starve me to death. You see? Now, they're going to help us in respect to Bahamian direct investing. Or we will remove their legacy from them. Everything belongs to the Bahamian people. Everything belongs to you, sir, and you, ma'am, to you, little boy, little girl. Everything belongs to me and my children. Not this. It is absolute nonsense. Take a look at this. Okay? Now, this game, people are losing their lives, losing everything. Everything they worked so hard for is being taken away. Now, the deal is off. This nation and its people is absolutely resourceful, and we are the resource itself. Supernatural resource that God placed here on this planet. Now, I'm asking the decent people of this world who have heard and have followed and have seen. And I say to the world system, take a look at the spirit. This is spirit. This is not religion. I have rejected the religion, and I have followed the spirit of decency and the spirit of order, spirit of love, and of a sound mind.
Very true. No, your idea is brilliant. I just wish that they had listened we mustn't get weary. We must continue to push PA because that's exactly what is needed. See, if we're pivoting, we've got to remind these fellas of what it is that we want.
Now,
See,
in respect to same-sex marriage,
they don't know what we want anymore because it's been so long since we've
a minimum of 2/3 majority must be enshrined in the Constitution for a minimum of 40 years. That there will not be no same-sex marriage on these shores for at least 40 years. Minimum, ever. Before you even contemplate thinking about it. That's what I mean when I say minimum. It should not ever be heard or mentioned ever again for at least 40 years, ever on these grounds. Furthermore, in respect to stem cell, a 2/3 majority must be enshrined. Now that must never be practiced on the shores of the Bahamas. Ever. In addition, I might add, with same-sex marriage. But both of them on the table. We cannot afford the leader that is there, who's the Prime Minister. We cannot afford to even dream of bringing back the former Prime Minister. Yet both men are great men. They are my problem. They are your problem. Absolutely correct. Okay, now in respect to illegal immigration, the criminals in respect to my matter, they need to be removed far away from this country and far away from my children. I'll expose anyone as I have exposed even myself. Now I praise Yahweh according to the Constitution. Give the brothers them back their dignity by allowing them to work in their own God-granted and given createdly economy. It is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong.
And we challenge.
Absolute challenge.
Government, opposition,
Here's the account. Carmichael Road branch, Bank of the Bahamas International. Branch 195, account 551-00-48-92-7. There we go. Let's bring it home now, y'all. Let me show y'all what talent awaits. This is just the commercial. It's in the real deal. I need everyone to give whatever you can. I'm going to help. I'm going to do exactly what I say I'm going to do. Or you can have it all back.
They have to listen. So you must speak. Don't get tired now. This is no time to get weary. Come on now, children. You can't get weary now because this is the beginning of the next 40.
That's right.
Hard copy, how are you?
Pleasant. Good afternoon, Mr. McKinney. How are you?
Peace and love. I'm in good shape. Thank you.
Let's go back to basics, by the way. Study.
Having the fortitude to have such an open discussion on the national development of the country. And for inviting input. You mentioned that, all we're doing is talking about the past. And I have a tendency to feel the same way. We got to move forward into the future. And I'm glad that you said also that the government is willing to listen. Because I think when you have a government who is willing to listen, then you can affect change.
Absolutely.
And affect change in a good way. And so, and lending my contribution to this national debate today, one of the things that I truly believe that would be
Intelligent young man.
for the empowerment of Bahamians.
Next generation of leaders.
The proclivity
for not wishing to shift the paradigm. The balance of power
on the family outlets particularly, and we see this last amount of
has
time
shifted. The agreement
and you know, we borrow millions
has
every
been
year.
made.
Why not? You know, why we have to keep? Why does this have to continue to be a discussion? Why do we have to discuss every year? Are we going to build our houses? Are we going to do this to the next island? Why not do it? With regard to this national training program with Ms. Abbott and Maxwell, I think that's very great, terrific idea. And one of the things I'd like also to see is that it is expanded to the family islands, because not until we include the family islands in a national educational program are we really going to see, you know, that paradigm shift in the masses. Because the family islands can serve as a feeder program to what, you know, what Bahamas is fashioned to do for the country. You know, we have a lot of small communities, and all these family islands and these small communities are dying. You know, we have to...
They're dying because that's a part of the plan, bro. And that's what Yah Creations, Images and Designs Limited are here to help, to create the atmosphere of change, progress, real change.
I live in a small town where the administrator's residence is closed down, is running down in 2013. You know, so
unacceptable.
I think it has to do with the environment, also the way people feel about themselves.
Very true.
You know, and the government does have a role, equally so, the residents or the people, they have a role to play also. But I would like to see, from my standpoint as a young Bahamian who wants to be a stakeholder in this economy, who wants to make a positive contribution,
yes.
I would like to think that I can one day put Bahamian to say, you have a right, if not to succeed, you have a right to fail as a Bahamian.
Yeah, well, you're on the right track. You've got a good
absolutely
we must pursue. I appreciate
sound
your input today, and I noted exactly what you're talking about. I agree
Father
with you,
Yahweh,
and I think that all in
He
some
prays.
listening would have
That's
taken
right.
notes, because